Up next.
So Delta, are one of our, I guess, mottos, or however you want to call it, is scholarship, sisterhood, and service. And those women embody that, even, as teenagers. So I talked about the sisterhood part. You always see them together, and there was love, and there was encouragement, and all of that. But the one moment that I said, I want to be a Delta and not another sorority or nothing at all, was I was registered to vote by Deltas. And they were, what are we, 17, 18, 19 years old?
Yeah.
And these teenage women or young women are sitting outside of a cafeteria talking about the importance of registering to vote. To be able to give back to others in that capacity, Delta has 2 programs in particular that really focuses in on younger women, Delta Gyms and Delta Academy. And it's a mentoring program, and these young women, 11 through 17 years old, once a month on a Saturday, they come and we mentor them on everything from respecting yourself to learning more about science and math.
This is what you live by.
That is what we
you're
live by.
driven by.
Yep.
And so I'm very interested in understanding and learning. One, what made you decide you wanted to be part of that life?
So, my background, I come from a family who believes in education. I come from a family my father did not finish high school. My mother has an associate's degree. But it was always instilled in us that you will go to college. There was never an option. So education was important. But being a part of that kind of a family, I didn't know anything about sorority life. No one in my family is a Delta or AKA or any of that. So I got to school. I went to Westchester University. Went to Central High School. 259.
262.
Oh, I feel old.
I'm right behind you, girl.
Yep. So I went to Central High School, and that was such a blessing. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And then I went to Westchester University, and I got on Westchester's campus, and there were sororities throughout. Now, Westchester is predominantly Caucasian.
Yes.
There are maybe 10-15% minority students.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not. It's pretty diverse, and it was a good school for me. So I got there, and there was Deltas and AKAs and Zetas. Know nothing about sorority life. I'm like, who are these women who have on crimson and cream, and I see them everywhere, and they look like such, their sisterhood was
so
there.
United, so united.
And they
so
were
much
about
love.
their business. That's about their business. So, I had admiration for Delta as soon as I came on Westchester's campus, but adversity always happens and things don't work out the way that you want them to work out. So I was a freshman. I had a great college career, sophomore, and Delta was no longer on Westchester's campus.
What happened?
They graduated, and the chapter just, you have to have a certain number of members on campus.
Okay,
yep.
yeah. They didn't recruit.
You can't do it as a freshman, and that's when they were there, and then they weren't there after that. So I was disappointed, but I didn't want to give up. Like, that's what I was inspired by what I saw just my freshman year, and I carried that with me throughout college and beyond.
What was it that you saw that inspired you to make you say, I want to be part of this particular sisterhood?
So Delta, are one of our, I guess, mottos, or however you want to call it, is scholarship, sisterhood, and service. And those women embody that, even, as teenagers. So I talked about the sisterhood part. You always see them together, and there was love, and there was encouragement, and all of that. But the one moment that I said, I want to be a Delta and not another sorority or nothing at all, was I was registered to vote by Deltas. And they were, what are we, 17, 18, 19 years old?
Yeah.
And these teenage women or young women are sitting outside of a cafeteria talking about the importance of registering to vote.
At that young age.
Yeah. And I said, they're on to something. They're about their business. I want to be a part of something like that.
Yeah.
That's bigger than me. They're servicing the community. So that's kind of when the love for Delta
Did you vote
started.
then?
I did vote. That was my first year voting. I was 18. I remember right outside the cafeteria, Lawrence Cafeteria at West Chester University, and they were sitting at the table, and I'm friends with some of them today. But that was 9 years before I became a Delta. Some of my other friends who shared that same dream of becoming a Delta with me kind of went on to do other things. And I guess you grow, and as you learn more about other sororities, you want to join others. But that just would not leave me. I said, I want to be a Delta. So I graduated. And opportunity came up in graduate school. I don't know if you know, but there's grad chapters of a sorority.
Did not know that.
Yeah, there's grad chapters. And it's different than, I think, your Caucasian sororities, because the Divine Nine are the African American sororities. They're a lifetime commitment. Yeah. I think we all believe that. It's a lifetime commitment. So we have graduate chapters, and you can become a member of the sorority through that. So I tried once. I tried twice. It didn't happen.
What do you mean you tried?
I went to the rush process, and I just did not qualify at that point. It was not my time.
It's a qualification
process.
process.
Oh, yeah. You have to be selected. I mean, I was one of 600 women at one point who went for a certain graduate chapter, and I wasn't selected. And
wow, I did not know that.
I was one of 600.
I thought it was like pledge, go through this grueling process where you gotta eat slugs, and you gotta be, slaves to the elders and carry their books around campus.
It's slightly different when you are an adult and on a graduate level, right?
School. So yeah, it's different probably if you're, in a regular, BS degree and you're an undergraduate.
The undergrad is different.
The graduate is more grueling.
I've heard stories like that.
Yeah, that's
my husband is in a fraternity.
Like, no way.
And he did it in undergrad. And
I was like, I can't do it.
He has stories, but my experience was different. I'm thankful for that. So I tried once when I graduated. Didn't happen. I tried again when I graduated. And something as silly as my transcript wasn't signed, and that didn't work. It didn't happen. Next. So, could have given up then. Yeah. But
it was your dream.
It didn't go away. It was something that I've always wanted to be a part of. So I tried the third time, and it worked out, and I became a Delta in spring 2009, April 4th, 2009. I have 30 line sisters, 30 women who became Deltas with me at the same time. And Delta is... it's been a life-changing experience. I've learned more about myself as a woman through Delta than I think I have in any of my other experiences leading up to that. So, you are sisters with 30 women. Yeah. You're going through a process. I mean, you're still going through a pledge process in the graduate level. And you learn about yourself. You learn about how to be genuine friends with women. And you learn about how to service others through that experience, I think. So it was, it's definitely been a journey. It's been 5 years. It's been a journey, but it's something that I would not change. It's made me much more, I think, a better woman, a better friend, a better mother, a better career woman even.
So do you think that all young girls should go through this process of being...
I don't think so. I think it depends on what desires you have in your heart. I don't think that this is a make or break situation. It was in God's plan for me to be a part of Delta when I became part of Delta.
Yeah, I mean, for 9 years in advance.
And I don't think that if it would have happened for me in undergrad, maybe my experience might not have been what it is now. So that I say that to say that everyone doesn't have to be in a sorority. I think it's what is the desires of your heart. You can create the sisterhood. You can work in a community, and you can be about education through other avenues. So sorority is not the only avenue, but if that's what's in your heart, I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
So what are the top 3 things
Yeah.
you love most about being part of your sorority?
I would say first and foremost, giving back to others. And I honestly mean that. I know what it feels like, or I know what it's like to come from a world where you're the only person who goes to school on a regular basis, or you don't have mentors to guide you, or you walk down the street and you step on vial or whatever, especially in the 90s. So I know what that feels like, and to be able to be in a position, now I could have done this on my own. I was doing community service before Delta, but I have such a larger platform now, and the power of numbers, right? And the power of being around women who are like-minded and want to do the same thing. It's powerful. So to be able to give back to others in that capacity, Delta has 2 programs in particular that really focuses in on younger women, Delta Gyms and Delta Academy. And it's a mentoring program, and these young women, 11 through 17 years old, once a month on a Saturday, they come and we mentor them on everything from respecting yourself to learning more about science and math and technology, because that's an area where women don't. Absolutely.
I'm an IST major, an IT major, and I remember going in, and I was the only black woman for a while, and then when the second black female joined the college, I was like, another black woman! Like, I greeted her with open arms. I was like, come, you're home, and we're together, and like, we stuck to... We've lived together, Renee.
Look at that.
We've lived together even after we graduated. We're still friends to this day.
Yeah. But it's great to have someone there, right, that you can relate to, that can mentor to you, or could be a peer to you. So that's what Delta is about. And I think that was one of the top, going back to your question, that was one of the top reasons that I wanted to be a part, or that I love my sorority, is that we're giving back. Now, I'm a part of the Chester Alumni Chapter, and the Chester Alumni Chapter services the Delaware County area. So there's Philadelphia, and there's 5 counties. We're in Delaware County. And Chester is a city within the Delaware County area, and that's a underprivileged city by far. So that is where we primarily serve, and most of our young women in our programs come from that area. So it's a joy and honor to be able to give back in that way, and that's one of the reasons. But I did want to mention that, to whom much is given, much is required. And I kind of live by that verse.
You said it.
And sometimes you feel like, am I in a position to give back? But there's always someone that can learn from your experiences. I'm 31, but I've been through some things, and I can share those same things with another young woman who may be where I once was. And Delta helps with that. So that's, another reason why.
So
I love it.
What have you ladies done recently within the community?
Oh, well, a couple of things. So right now I serve on 2 committees within Delta. I was mentioning earlier, I do a lot of internal work with Delta the last few years. In past, I've done outside community work, but the 2 committees I'm part of now are technology and nominating. So nominating, you're in charge of electing officers for our executive board. Okay. Doesn't sound too exciting, but you are in charge of appointing leadership within the chapter, and that helps to determine how the chapter is run and the programs we do, etc. So it's important to me. And then the other thing is technology. So I'm doing a lot of social media for our chapter, promoting our events, etc. But one of the events that we just had was we registered or provided assistance for the community to get registered for Obamacare. So we had an event. It was actually just a few Saturdays back. We opened it up to the community. Come out, learn information, and we have folks on site that will help you register for Obamacare. So that was just recent. This morning, I wasn't able to attend because I had swimming and dance this morning for my kids at the Y, but our chapter had a healthy, this is sisterhood month for us. Sisterhood is important. Yeah. So we had kind of a walk run healthy learning about health and lifestyle session this morning with the members of our chapter. So it's important while you're giving back to the community to make sure that you spend some time building yourself up as well.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have anything to give, then you're not helpful to the community. So we took some time to talk about health with the members of our chapter this morning with that walk that they did. We have a domestic violence workshop coming up soon where we're going to invite members of the community, and we have experts talking about domestic violence, where you can find resources if you need them, who to talk to, etc. Just kind of opening up that topic.
The very taboo, uncomfortable
Very
conversation.
much so. Very much so.
So let me ask you, what makes the Deltas different from all these other sororities? Like if someone's watching this right now and they're like, okay, yes, I do want to join a sorority, but I'm having a tough time deciding which one, and I'm looking at their mission statements and their goals and their values, but I'm still having a difficult time. What makes Deltas different?
I think that particularly all 4 sororities in the Divine Nine, or the predominantly African American sororities, all have a rich history. We all believe in education, service to the community, and sisterhood amongst each other. But I think what makes Delta different from me, and it's so cliche, but it's a feeling that you have within where and it depends on what you're exposed to. I was exposed to Delta in a way that was attractive to me over the other options. But I think to me what makes Delta that sorority is doing, it's about, does that fit what you believe in and your value
that's
system?
what it's about.
Yep. So we're all uniquely different in some ways, but a lot of the same in others. So I think, once you do your research, once you kind of know the history of the sorority. I mean, Delta is 101 years old.
Do you have welcome days for like people who are interested in joining to just like come hang out with you guys, learn more, and just like kind of see what the Delta life and experience is all about?
Well, we always have tons of public events, right? So you can always come to our register for healthcare, Affordable Healthcare Act. You can come to that event. You can come to our domestic violence workshop. We have tons of public events that you can find out about on our website. Don't ask me what the address is, but if you Google Chester Alumni Chapter Delta Sigma Theta, you will find us. But you can come to any public event at any time. But we do hold rush meetings or information sessions about our sorority periodically. Honestly, it's every few years. So you have to get involved with what we're doing, and then you'll find out when the next information session about becoming a member happens, and then you can go from there.
So this might be a silly question, but are all sororities, specifically yours, all higher education based? Like you need to be enrolled in a college program, university program, even to be considered, because after college or universities, masters, whatever, there's no way you're getting it.
Absolutely. To be a Delta, you have to have a 4-year degree. You have to have completed or you have to be in pursuit of a degree.
An online record of reported deaths reveals since 2007, there have been 1 or more hazing-related deaths per year. Recognize what hazing looks like. In any real emergency, immediately dial 911. What would you do? Allow it, speak up, or get out of there?
Like, this might be another silly question.
No.
Enroll, you're in.
Yeah.
And, you become a Delta in your 3rd year, you drop out. Are you still a Delta?
Yes. You're still a Delta.
Okay.
You're still a Delta.
Financial issues arise and
you're
gotta
still
drop
a Delta.
out. But
that happens, right? That's
exactly.
real life. That happens. And that's quite all right. If you're enrolled in a 4-year university, you become a Delta and you no longer are in college, you are still a Delta for a lifetime.
That's what I'm
As long
talking
as
about.
you are financial. I mean, this is you have to run. I run my household like a business. So you have to run.
A marriage is a business.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So you have to run certain things, or there's certain business aspects of Delta. So as long as you're financially active, you pay your membership dues, you belong to a chapter, or you're a member at large, then yes, you continue to be a Delta. I know many women, Deltas, Zetas, AKAs, who may have not finished college, but they still became members of the sorority and still are. Yep.
So, okay, do you call it the hand sign? What's the hand sign?
You know,
Is that what it's called? Hand sign?
Yeah, well, I call it a pyramid. But every sorority, fraternity, they have, you know, we have fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's not all about work. It's not all about.
So don't you do it like you do it together, right? You cross our.
Wait, you can't do it though.
I
You
can't do it.
No.
Okay, only you can do it. She's gonna show that
Yes.
I can't do it.
Well, I mean, what we do, we are.
But
Delta,
I might decide to enroll.
well, don't
into
do
something.
it beforehand, because then somebody will see that and say, "Oh, does she think she's a Delta?"
Oh,
you don't want to go there.
No, I don't want to go there. So show us
I'm
the Delta.
joking. So Delta Sigma Theta, right? Delta is a Greek letter. So our hand signal is mimicking a Delta. So it's a pyramid. It's like this.
Mm-hmm. But you usually cross arms.
Yeah, if you're with another sorority sister, you got to show that sign of sisterhood, right? So we're going to cross arms or link or something. But yeah, it's a pyramid. And there's unofficial calls and sayings and that kind of thing.
You know what I thought was interesting? That a lot of the sororities, of course, and fraternities, they all go by Greek letters.
Yeah.
But you're an African American based sorority. Why would you not go with an African based symbology? I always thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
Why Greek? We're not Greek. We didn't come from the Greeks. Can you
know
talk
what
about
it is? So I said Delta is 101 years old, right?
Yes.
Think back 100 years ago, black women at college. There were, we talked about 10-15% of people at Westchester are black African Americans. It was less than 1%, right? So their fraternities and sororities have been around for ages. And I'm sure that everyone that started those fraternities, sororities, white, black, or whatever, were not Greek. So that system of fraternity,
closer to slavery than we were to where we are now. So I would almost assume it would be an African symbology.
Now there are some African, I think, cultures, and
we gotta stop. Oh, girl. All right, let's pause.
Okay.
I'll try to ask the question again.
Okay.
That's something I've always actually been really interested in.
interesting.
How come none of the sororities are the African American sororities, fraternities? They're all representing Greek, but we're not Greek. We come from Africa, a nation of Africa. So why are we using Zimbabwe?
Well, it's mimicking,
tribal.
You know, it was the purpose of a sorority and fraternity back then was to create an atmosphere where a black woman or a man could feel like they belong to something and support each other. And I think they just went along. And I don't want to say this. I feel like I want to Google it. But it was the system that was already in place. So let's make our own version of that.
Yeah. I wished at some point, I feel like if I was one of those people way back then, I'd have been like, why are we going with Greek? I feel like somebody asked that question. Where do you see the Deltas in 5 years? Like, do you guys have like a 5-year plan or a goal that you want to reach specifically?
Absolutely.
Something that you want to do to help better society, to help, better young women. What is it in 5 years?
Yeah. So, Delta as a national organization just entered a new leadership regime. Our national president is Dr. Paulette T. Walker, and she's I think her general message is impacting communities and transforming lives. So that's important to Delta on a national level. Our local chapter, we've been really trying to make sure that we impact Delaware County, the community of Delaware County, in a positive way. So we just want to continue to have an impact in the community. And we're growing our membership. Our chapter 5 years ago, it might have been half of where our numbers are today.
Wow.
So that's important to grow our membership because we can increase our span of reach. So that's really where we see Delta in 5 years on a local level, and I think a national level as well, just impacting more lives and more communities. And Delta is an organization of over 250,000 black women primarily. We do have some Caucasian sisters, but 250,000 women, and we have some powerful women who are Deltas worldwide. I don't know if you know, but Angela Bassett just became a Delta.
Really?
Yes, Angela Bass is a Delta, the creator of the game and Being Mary Jane and Girlfriends Mara Braca Kill. She's a Delta.
You know what? I'm thinking about going back for my master's. I think it's about time. I just wanted to put it out there.
You would be amongst a powerful group of women. And if you have a 4-year degree, you're eligible to become a Delta.
I already have a 4-year degree.
Well, you can certainly go through the process. Delta's looking for women who are in line with our values, and it's not for everyone, certainly. But if you are, I'm going to say it in Rasheeda's terms, if you're about your business and you're about giving back to the community, then you would probably be a good fit for Delta. So certainly anyone who's interested in membership should check their local chapter, the chapter in your community. In Philadelphia, for example, there's two chapters, Quaker City Alumni and Philadelphia Alumni. So go on their website, figure out what they're doing, be a part of their events, be there, and figure out if you want to be a part of that organization.
Well, let's go on their website and see if I can.
Okay, certainly
apply.
Certainly,
right?
Yeah.